Today I'm gonna show you why Busan is one of the best cities in the world. I think Busan weather was quite nice. I actually really enjoy the cold. Some people really like Southeast Asian weather. To me, it's way too hot and sticky. In Busan, because it's right next to the water, you have a little bit more temperate weathers. When I was in Busan, all of my skin issues went away. And I think a lot of it also has to do with the diet. The Korean diet is a high anti-inflammation diet. So I think the number one thing about Busan is their food. Korean is some of the best in the world for like my genetics and my body type and how I feel after I eat it. I love how light Korean food is. I love how there are so many vegetables and the fermented food is very good for your gut health. In Busan specifically, there's a lot of seafood because you're right next to the water. And the seafood is quite affordable. It's not super cheap, it's not super expensive. It's like somewhere right in the middle. But for what you're getting and the quality of the food, I found that Busan food was very tasty. Meat was expensive there, but it's expensive all over in Korea. But at least you have access to really good seafood.
Oh my god, Korean food is a go, bro. So good.
So in my opinion, I think Korean food is some of the best, if not the best food in Asia. The bachan always makes it interesting. You have a good combination of meat, you have veggies, you have the soup. A lot of things are based in soup here. I just find them to be a lot more flavorful and diverse than Japanese food. It's so balanced. There's so many different ways that you can eat Korean food. I can eat the meat with the rice. I can eat the meat with the lettuce. I can eat the soup with the rice. I can eat the soup by itself. I can put in the different bachan into the soup to make it different.
When you're here in the Hyundai section here in Busan, make sure to stop by this market. There are tons of really amazing seafood and just different kinds of Korean food that you can check out. When I was staying here, I came here like almost every single day because the food is good, pretty well priced for what you get. Highly recommend. 감사합니다. So Busan is well known for their seafood, and there are so many great seafood dishes that you can try here. This is one of the most famous dishes here. It's like a green onion pancake, and they put shrimp, green onions, and egg, and all these different things. I think there's a little bit of squid in there too. At night, there's always a line for this place. Very good. Very, very good.
I also highly recommend going to the Busan market. There you can find extremely cheap local Korean street food. You can also find a lot of seafood. You can find some clothes there. One of the best things that I tried in Korea was this beef blood soup, and they give you rice and then kimchi and the radish on the side. I think it was like 6,000 Korean won, so it was like $4, but this was the best breakfast ever. You get so many nutrients from the beef blood, super delicious. It's very light, not a lot of inflammation because you have a lot of vegetables in there as well.
That is so good. 감사합니다. Very good, very good.
In general, pretty much all the places that I've been to, I almost always prefer the second biggest city in that country. I'm not a big fan of capital cities, especially in Asia. I find that they're very chaotic. Bangkok has 13 million people. Tokyo has like 37 million people, which is even crazier. The population of Busan is around 3.6 million. I prefer second cities normally because you get a good balance of like city life while also retaining a lot of the local culture. And the fact that it's a beach city really adds a lot. It also has mountains, it also has river. So it has a lot of the great things that I personally would want from a city. Busan is one of the most beautiful cities geographically that I've ever seen. As far as infrastructure is concerned, I think Korea in general does a very good job.
So if you travel to the east side, you have Hadong Yeonggongsa Temple. Hopefully I said that right. I thought it was worth it. I went later in the day, and because it's so far out in the city, it was extremely windy and the weather was quite cold, but I thought the experience itself was quite beautiful. The statues were nice, the architecture was quite nice. You're able to throw coins into one of their wells and then it allows you to make a wish.
Sometimes they call me Chef Curry. Actually, nobody calls me that. So yeah, you try to get, I think there's like a little bowl down there if you can see it. So I guess you can only get your wish granted if you make it in. So let's see what happens. Yeah. It was a good attempt, thank you.
I don't think it's that different and unique compared to some of the other temples in Asia that I've seen. But if you are in Busan, I would recommend coming here.
If you guys are enjoying the video, please like the video and consider subscribing. If you guys enjoy the content, please consider donating to the channel or becoming a channel member, and it allows me to continue to make videos like these.
This is really cool. Reminds me of Latin America. Reminds me of like Comuna 13 in Medellin. So interesting because I was coming up with the bus, right? And it felt like I was in Manizales again because Manizales has the same kind of hilly infrastructure like this. And even the bus was kind of the same. So it just gave me like major flashbacks, even though I'm in Korea, I'm not in Colombia anymore. What's beautiful about Busan is that not only you have like mountains and you have these hills, but you're right next to water. And then you also have like a really nice, well-developed city. And you also have rivers. So you kind of have the best of everything here.
So I spent a couple of hours in the cultural village. When you're near the top, you have this area that sells a bunch of like fortunes. There's a general one for men, a general one for women. You can pick based on your year, if you're like the year of the dog or the snake. But I want to give a shout out to one of these cafes that I found. I don't know what it's called, but it was one of the craziest cafes that I've ever been to. The whole entire thing is just like a random maze that you have to get through, and it's just filled with different kinds of objects, bunch of places you can take pictures. They had some like horror elements to it. It was a really trippy cafe, really cool experience. In the middle, they had some ducks that you can feed.
Do you put it off your hand? I swear they're gonna like all over my hand. Here, let's try that. Offering for you, my friend. What'd you say? What'd you say to me? Huh? You thought? Yeah, that's what I thought. Walking around the cultural village of Busan is a really amazing tourist attraction because you feel like you get like a really authentic Korean experience without all the masks and all the social media stuff. You're just like in a traditional Korean village. This is pretty authentically Korea. That's why I appreciate it a lot. And then you have all these beautiful buildings that you get to enjoy. Local Koreans, they're very peaceful people. They don't really try to bother you. Highly recommend it.
I also found the shopping in Busan to be quite good. They have a couple of shopping streets, as most of the Korean cities do. One of their most popular department stores is Shinsegae, and the cool thing about the one in Busan is that on the B1 level, they have a bunch of local Korean streetwear brands. In my opinion, a lot of them kind of looked the same, but there are a few gems here and there. One of the stores that I liked a lot was called AECA. Seoul is obviously going to be the best in terms of shopping, but I found that Busan was quite nice as well. In general, I'm not the biggest fan of beach cities, but I really like beaches in Asia because they're generally quite clean. I really love the infrastructure of the beach in Busan because you have a really big, wide, clean beach. You have a lot of musicians that are playing along the beach. And that view in Busan with the river and the bridge, oh, it's one of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen in my life. So Busan still has a lot of the problems that Korean society has in general, but I find that as a tourist, all the things that you would want from a Korean city, I think Busan has a lot more to offer than Seoul does. Busan would be a place that I would go for like a week or even a month just to live. A lot of people will still go to Seoul because it's the capital, but in my opinion, spend more time in Busan. Everything is better in Busan. It's cheaper, better food, better infrastructure. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give Busan a 9. Quite close to some of my favorite cities in the world. Please give it a like and consider subscribing. If you guys want to support the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon. I highly recommend that you guys watch this video next, and I will catch you on the next one.